talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look at my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look at my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look at my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Now, before we get started, let's see who's in here. All right, Terry Hinton, Mel G from the land. All right, let's get into it. Nessa G, AJ Matthews. All right, shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, King Jason. All right, Sheila is in the house. Mel, Danny Joe, that Crazy Beach Aries, Most Hated Bronze Flat Power God. Desmond is here. All right, it's Bree to you. So shout out to all of my loyal royals. And specifically a shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. I see you, Vince I Air from the UK, Panther Strike, Hadassah is here. All right, Terry Hinton. Now let's get into it. Let's get into it. But before we do, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she sells beard oil. All right, so that all being said, let's get into this story. Okay, let's get into the story because this is really crazy. Now, this woman, Renaya Lewis, She went missing. Her family had been looking for her everywhere, putting up missing posters and all of this, only to find out that she was murdered and some man had put her in a wall. So let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, so Renea Lewis, 28 years old of Berkeley, California, went missing on Friday, September the 28th of 2025. Now, the family tracked her phone's last location to a home on 14th Street in Vallejo. Police conducted a welfare check at the home and did a cursory search, but initially they didn't find anything. So then the next day, the detectives went and got a search warrant and they went back to that same residence. That's where they discovered a gruesome scene in the attic, hidden inside a wall. In the attic, they found the remains of a deceased female, okay, who were later identified as Lewis. Not to mention, they said that she was likely dismembered. Okay, that's what one news report says. Now, the suspect, Douglas Irwin Shaw, age 41, is a Vallejo resident. Now, he was arrested at his place of work without incident. Okay, after his arrest, Shaw allegedly confessed to being responsible for the homicide. Now, he's been booked into Solano County Jail, charged with murder, and is being held without bail. Now, they don't know the exact motive for the killing, or at least it hasn't been published in any reports as of yet. The nature of the relationship, if any, between Shaw and Lewis is still unclear at the time. And some reports say that they recently had met. Others, that family says there's no established connection that they know of. Okay, and then details about how Lewis died, the cause of death. Well, they haven't said that yet. Okay, they also haven't said whether or not there was a struggle. So this is all real crazy. Now, listen, how many stories have I reported on to you all? And just remember, you heard it here first, okay? But how many stories have I reported on to you all? AJ, not AJ, but hold on. I'm trying to read this comment. Amy says, oh my goodness, she got Edgar Allan Poe. I know, right? The Telltale Heart. If you all know that story by Edgar Allan Poe, I used to be a big fan of his when I was like in high school and college. But yes, the Telltale Heart, when he hit that body beneath the floorboards, also nefarious, and it does bring that story to mind. But you know, the family, like I said, they have been looking for her for days, handing out flyers and everything. There was an Amber Alert. I mean, not an Amber Alert, an Ebony Alert. Okay, there was an Ebony Alert and everything. And there actually was a video of one of her people going around neighborhoods passing out flyers. I'm not going to show it because there's like music in the background. But let's get into this news report. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. I'm actually going to show two news reports. Okay, here we go.
Discovery in the city of Vallejo. Police confirming the body of a missing woman has been found hidden inside the wall of a home. And tonight, a suspect has been taken into custody. Her disappearance triggered an Ebony Alert issued by CHP, and now her loved ones are grappling with the devastating news. Betty Yu has the story.
What did she do to you for you to kill her and then put her in a wall? When he said, we found your daughter, I just collapsed. I was like, I can't believe this. And I was praying. I said, God, please don't let it be her. Please don't let it be her. And he did not answer my prayer.
It was the news no one in 28-year-old Renea Lewis's family wanted to hear. Police found her body behind a wall inside this home on 14th Street in Vallejo. Her mother last texted her on Friday and thought it was unusual not to get a response.
When they found her body behind the wall. They nailed her body behind the wall.
Vallejo police announced late Tuesday that they had arrested Douglas Shaw. It's still unclear what his relationship is to Renea or to the home.
The person that they have in custody is being cooperative, stated that he did indeed kill Renea. He threw her phone on top of the school. That's the most information that I have.
Police now have Renea's phone, which her family says last pinged at this address. Her mother used the Life 360 app to track her final location, and her cousin LaToya helped lead the family's search in the area.
Renea was the best loving person. The girl loved to cook. She loved her family.
Since they began sharing flyers with her mother's number, the family has received numerous prank calls, people pretending to be Rania, luring her mother to false addresses and demanding money.
I am devastated. That's my youngest daughter. Her birthday is on Monday. She would have been 29.
Rania's family and friends say they don't know anything about that house where she was found or the people who may live there. They did say it wasn't unusual for her to be in Vallejo, but they are not familiar with that address. In Vallejo, Betty Yu, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Okay, that's a darn shame. But at the end of the day, yeah, someone was demanding money, Swift. Isn't that awful? And here's the thing. I'll bet you she met that man on one of those dating apps or something. Okay, I bet she met him online. Now, how many times have I reported these sorts of stories when to you all, where a woman who looks like me goes out with a man who doesn't look like me, and then this happens? How many times? I'm sorry. This is becoming an epidemic. Are y'all paying attention? And see, then somebody had the nerve to say, "Oh, Queen, you're old fashioned." When I was telling y'all, warning you all about those nefarious dating apps, because those are a breeding ground for criminals, nefarious ones, specifically people who want to kill people and chop them up. Okay? Specifically those types. All right? Please pay attention. This is all so crazy. At the end of the day, so anyway, let's see what ABC has to say about it. Apparent remains of missing woman found behind secret entry to attic in California. Now, authorities believe they discovered the body of a missing woman behind a secret entry to an attic in Northern California in a home. The woman was identified as Rania Lewis, 28 years old, of Vallejo, according to the city's police department. Okay, Douglas Irvin Shaw, age 41, was arrested on suspicion of murder in connection with Lewis's death. Now, it wasn't immediately clear whether he has an attorney to speak on his behalf. Authorities haven't identified a possible motive. Records show that he's being held without bail. And also, they say it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking and a senseless act of violence that has no place in our community. This is what Police Chief Jason Ta said. Now, they say our thoughts are with the decedent's family during this incredibly difficult time. They said wasn't immediately clear whether Lewis and Shaw knew each other. Like I said, they probably didn't know each other that well. This man probably met her on the internet, in my opinion. So Lewis was last seen Friday evening. She was reported missing Sunday, according to police. An investigation led police officers to a home in Vallejo, 30 miles northeast of San Francisco, where it appeared Lewis may have been before she disappeared. All very disturbing. Now, during what officials described in a statement as a cursory search, patrol officers went to the home that day and looked into the rooms and closets and elsewhere. But at the time, they found no signs of Lewis. So on Monday, the California Highway Patrol activated an Ebony Alert, a statewide notification system launched in California last year to help identify missing Black people who have disappeared under unexplained or suspicious circumstances. Now, police said that a day later, detectives returned to that home with new investigative information and a search warrant to carry out a thorough examination. They discovered a concealed entry to the attic and the remains of a woman believed to be Lewis. Shaw was taken into custody at his workplace, and he works at Six Flags. Okay. His workplace is Six Flags. So, anyway, like I said, this is so grisly. What do you all make of it? What do you all make of it? And I don't know why these women keep getting themselves in these predicaments, going out with these strange men, okay, that they meet online. Never a good idea. Absolutely never a good idea. Okay, please pay attention. And then somebody said he's a monster. Six Flags employee arrested. after a woman found dead in his home. I told y'all he works at Six Flags. Now hold on. Well, I was going to say that maybe he met her there, but I wouldn't think so because likely if she had been to Six Flags, she more likely than not would have been there with other people. Okay. With that all being said, likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. So now let's talk about Ramika. Let's talk about Ramika Meeks for a second. AJ said, not Six Flags. Yes, absolutely. And you ladies need to be on the watch, specifically men too, I guess, but specifically women need to be on the watch for these people out here hitting people with these illegal substances to cause them to pass out. Okay, I find it also interesting. Hold on for a second. Hold on, beloveds. Okay. So Flower Lotus says, with trafficking at an all-time high, I don't see why she met up with him or even walked over to his vehicle. I don't know, beloved. I don't know what people are thinking. Like I said, I guess people don't believe that the world is as dangerous as it actually is. All right. Amy says, don't date anyone without letting someone know where know your license plate numbers. Let a friend or family know where you are. Exactly. Exactly. That's what people should be doing. And you should not be going off with strange people you don't know into private areas. Meet them in a public place, if anything. Okay. B1 Son said, when are we going to learn? Exactly. Okay. I just find it all very interesting. And it is extremely sad. You know, there was a lady and her daughter who went missing days ago. I can't remember if I told you all about that or not. But it was another black lady and her daughter who went missing. And then days later, they were both found deceased. Okay, so it's very dangerous out here, specifically for women who look like me. All right. And our stories get very little attention. So it's up to you to do your due diligence. I told you all you should not be going out late at night by yourselves and all of that. And because it's just not safe. It is just not safe. Now I want you all to see this video where this man is talking about someone being well, first we'll get to that, but let me play this TikTok that's about this case. And then there's a video of a man talking about somebody getting rugged, okay, while they were at a gas station. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance.
This shit right here, y'all, is crazy as fuck. They found this 28-year-old woman body inside of a secret wall in the attic, y'all, out in the valleys in California. Yes, a wall. We must be dealing with a psychopath because who in their right mind would do some shit like this? I seen this type of shit on a movie. So they said Renea Lewis was missing for some days, and her family was begging and pleading, like, please, can y'all search for her? Can y'all search for her? And the police, they went out and started searching more for Renea Lewis. And that's when they came across this house, and they went in there and they searched like the bedrooms, the closet, the basement, shit like that. And they didn't find her. And that's when they got new leads that pointed her back to this house. So they obtained a warrant, and this time they did a deeper search. And then that's when they ultimately found her up in a secret wall in the attic, y'all. You know how evil you gotta be to unalive somebody and then stash their body in a wall, drywall? So they did arrest the person who did it, which was a 41-year-old man named Douglas Shaw. When they grabbed him up, he did confess to what he did to her. And I don't know about y'all, but that's sick and demonic, fool. You're just crazy. Renea Lewis was only 28 years young, y'all. She would have still been here if it wasn't for this little evil ass demonic man. Y'all gotta understand, this world is getting crazier and crazier by the day. So everybody, y'all gotta keep your head on the swivel. Make sure you call your loved ones. Make sure you share your location with them. R.I.P. to her and condolence to her family.
Okay, so now with that all been said, let's go to this next report because this is when they talked about the memorial. Hold on, okay. All right, here we go.
Memorial sits outside the Vallejo home near 14th Street and Star Avenue, where police found the body of 28-year-old Renia Lewis hidden inside a detached unit in the backyard.
She was concealed in a space that led to the attic.
Family members tell KTVU the victim had been dismembered.
This was a horrific crime. Not only did this bring pain to the family, it brought pain to the community.
It's a shock to the whole community of Vallejo.
Well-wishers dropped off flowers in memory of the woman who was the subject of an intense search and ebony alert. Hope turned to despair when police found her with the help of her family who had pinged her phone.
It's really sad to know that she has family and friends that really, came together. Like, they really loved that girl enough to do the footwork on their own to try to find out where she was.
Police arrested 41-year-old Douglas Irwin Shaw, a father of two girls, at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in Vallejo, where he works. He was booked on suspicion of murder. Lewis's heartbroken mother, Terry, was at the scene when police found her daughter's body on Tuesday. She spoke to KTVU by phone on Wednesday.
This is unreal. This is unreal. And I would never see my daughter again because of this monster.
She and police confirmed the two were not a couple and may have met only recently.
She was a grown woman. What choices she made was on her. I still love her, no matter what. I love all my children, no matter what they're doing, good or bad.
I spoke to a former girlfriend of the suspect, whom she met when they both worked at Six Flags. She and her father told me he was a narcissist who thought everyone else was wrong. This woman got a restraining order against him in 2023 because of his threats. Terry Lewis says the suspect is in jail where he belongs.
He needs to get life so he can sit there and suffer.
Now, Renia would have turned 29 on Monday. The Solano County DA's office will review this case as far as formal charges. One last note, Six Flags tells me they did do a complete background check on their worker and that their thoughts are with Renia's family. Live in Vallejo, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right, Henry. Thank you.
I'm sure they likely did do a background check, but nothing came up. Nothing came up because he's never been caught. That's all that is. Okay. That's all that is. Please pay attention. This is awful. Then cut her up. And let me just tell you all something. That house is nasty as hell, just so you know, because here's the thing. Now, they say the family's descriptions and reactions. Now, family members described the place where the body was found as dirty and cluttered, like hoarder style, like just messy as hell, just crap everywhere, filth. Okay. Right. So this may have made finding the hidden attic wall more difficult. All right. The body being hidden behind sheetrock or wall plating. The secret wall has been was specifically where she was found. So yeah, that's all crazy. And then dismembered. No official cause of death. Like I said, they don't talk about the injuries or any pathological findings at this point. So can you imagine? Just think about whatever she was feeling, when she realized what was about to happen. This is like something out of a movie. Cherry Red said, wonder if he kidnapped her. I don't know. That's a good question. Talk to me, I talk back said, I wonder if he killed, if he killed elsewhere and brought her there. Well, I don't know. These are a lot of good questions, but at the end of the day, more than likely he lured her there and killed her. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, all gruesome. So with that all being said, I was listening last night, you guys. I was listening to Big Keys on Keys News Network, honey. When I tell you that Carlos's people are trying so damn desperately to get his name cleared, honey, they were going off. They were getting into it. Mel said, "Facts Queen, a horror movie." I know, right? Swift said, "No one heard her screams." Maybe not, beloved, or maybe she couldn't scream. Who knows if he gagged her, stuffed something down her throat, or what? I mean, you just never know. You know what I'm saying? And I've read and researched so many stories about serial killers and just depraved-minded people. And when I tell you some of the things they do are ghastly, like normal people, of course, would never think of these things. So, I don't know. There could be I don't know. We don't know if she was even able to scream, honestly. If she did, clearly no one heard, beloved. But now, so back to what I was saying about Keys News Network. So he was on live last night talking about Romika and that guy Quadri with his stupid self. Oh my Lord, I just cannot stand Quadri Sanford. He is so ridiculous. But he was on there again and then trying to sell Big Keys a tape. Now he claims that he has footage of what happened the day of Ramika's death. He said that he has surveillance footage from one of the buildings in the area. But my thing is, how the hell would you have surveillance footage, Quadri, with your little lying, ugly self? He's talking about he has footage and he won't say where he got it from. And then he basically was talking about, yeah, OG Patrice, I know, I watched it. But he was sitting up there talking about, you know, just talking crazy, basically. And lying, clearly lying. Now, he said before he had not seen this man in 5 years. Then he went from 5 years to 3 to 4 years. Then all of a sudden, last night, he's talking about he's been to Carlos's house millions of times. But Carlos hasn't been living there for 3 to 4 years, sir. Okay? He had not been living there that long, according to his family members. So, or Ramika's aunt. So, with that all being said, were you there? Have you ever been there? Or have you not seen the man in 3 to 5 years? Okay? Just lie after lie. And then some guy on a motorcycle was on the live, and I don't know what he was all about. I mean, he wasn't saying anything, just nodding his head, because of course he's riding a motorcycle and had on a whole helmet. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Is everybody clout chasing? And then you had somebody who said they were Carlos's cousin. They wouldn't say their name. They just said to call them Carlos's cousin or whatever. But they were sitting there saying they're not going to take a side, but kept talking trash about Romika, saying Romika was aggressive. People knew how Romika was, and just trying to pretty much lay the blame on her. So I just find it all interesting. And then when Big Keys told him to something Big Keys wanted him to tell Carlos, and then the dude was like, oh, he's listening, he's watching right now. I bet he is watching right now, because he's the one who probably sent you to the stream to try to clear his name and go off on people for even thinking or saying that he had anything to do with it. But we all know he did. If we have sense, okay, you're not going to make me believe that he didn't have anything to do with it. And at the end of the day, when that witness said that he fist bumped Holly and said, "Oh, it's self-defense," well, that told me everything I need to know. And then we saw the police report where Carlos actually gave a statement. Okay, you gave a statement, but you're on the scene telling other people who were witnesses of the crime to shut up, not to say anything, calling them snitches. But you gave your statements, okay? And it was quite a lengthy statement, if you all remember, and it was all blocked out, like they retracted it. I wonder why they didn't want anybody to see that. Okay, I have several questions. Mel said Carlos orchestrated the whole crime. I absolutely believe that he did. I absolutely believe that he did. Okay, Queen Nina Star said, I wonder why they are dragging her like that. People that claim they know her. Well, here's the thing. These people that are saying this are all Carlos's friends and family. So that's why. That's obvious. These people are Carlos's friends and family. Quadri is Carlos's friend. The guy that was on there last night is Quadri's cousin. And he actually is the cousin because somebody else confirmed it. Somebody else that was on the live confirmed that he actually is Carlos's cousin. So that's why they're doing it, beloved. I mean, at the end of the day, it's to be expected as far as I'm concerned. Okay? I mean, maybe the cousin, or maybe Quadri. I don't know what Quadri thinks, but the cousin, maybe he thinks it's not Carlos's fault. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's absolutely Carlos's fault, no matter how you slice it. Because even if he and Holly didn't plan this whole thing out, it still comes back to Carlos, because he's the one that was sleeping around with both of these women and playing them both. Okay. He was the one that was probably pillow talking with Holly, telling her Romika's business, because how else would she know Romika's business when she got on that live and said, I would never. Remember that? Somebody should have done another video and told her, I would never kill another woman over no good man who's been lying to both of us. Okay? So anyway, but that all being said, OG Patrice said Los's statement was against Ramika. I hope the family realizes now that he never loved Ramika. Oh, I think he did love her. I think he absolutely did love her. And I think that he got to a point where he was so angry and bitter as some of y'all men get. Some of y'all women too, but we're talking about men now, so let me cook. As some of y'all men get when you feel like you can't have the woman that you don't want anyone else to have her. Okay? He was obsessed with her. He wanted to control her. That's why he would go in her house and tear up her things because she didn't want anything to do with them. Let me tell you all something. You know, the thing is this. When you're in a relationship, this goes for men or women, okay? Men and women, shall I say. If you're in a relationship with somebody who's insecure, you can expect that they're going to always be toxic because they're always going to be accusing you and thinking you're up to something, trying to check your phone. I want y'all to pay attention to what I'm saying now. They're going to always be trying to check your phone, find out what's going on, checking up on you and all that because they're insecure. And usually the insecure people are either broke or just not very attractive. Okay? Sometimes that's not the case, but in most times that's actually the case. But then there's the other side of the coin where you have someone who's controlling. Now, the men that tend to be controlling are the ones that have money. Okay, broke men, they're usually insecure, and we all know why. And then the men with money are usually controlling. And we all know why. Because they think if they have money, you're going to do whatever they tell you, or you better, or they're going to cut off those funds. Okay, that's how that goes. So, you know, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't in some cases. That's why you got to get somebody that's like, you know, somebody who's just like, you know, loyal, somebody who's even tempered, you know, somebody who's just a loving and a good person. And you can see these things about a person early on in the relationship, usually like in the first 6 months. Okay, because see, what people do is when they meet you, they send their representative. That's the best version of themselves. That's the facade. Okay. That's who they send to meet you and greet you, the representative of them. But then maybe after about 3 months or so, then the real them shows up and you're like, wait a minute, who the hell's this? Okay, so you have to be paying attention. And some people choose to ignore the red flags. Okay, putting hands on me, yeah, that's definitely a red flag. That's what we're not going to do. So Carlos was violent. Romika had called the police on him a myriad of times. We saw her with the black eye. We know that he has the DV charges. I showed you all his rap sheet and all of that. So we know that he was violent. And, you know, he was either controlling or he was insecure. I'm going to go with controlling. And you know why? Because they say Carlos has money. That's what his cousin was saying. Oh, he gets money. He gets money. And, you know, he probably does because they did say that he had a Mercedes truck and, you know, he thinks he's a little rapper and all of that. So likely he was controlling. And when he could no longer control Ramika, that's when it was a problem. All right. When he starts getting caught up in his shenanigans with Holly and whomever else he may have gotten caught up with. And Ramika decides she doesn't want it. And then some people were saying Ramika was jealous of Holly, but jealous of Holly for what? Ramika was the one that said she didn't want Carlos, and that was obvious because she posted all about it all over social media. Okay, Holly never posted saying she didn't want Carlos. She never did that. Ramika did. And Carlos admitted to going up to this woman's job. Okay, who does that? What kind of lame arse man? I wish a wigger would. Okay, come up to my job, trying to snitch on me to my boss. Please pay attention. Okay, that's all crazy work. Okay, you got to be a whole hater. All right, Byron B said when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Exactly. Exactly. Another thing that I think was bothering Carlos as well is because Ramika was working 2 jobs, so she didn't need his money. She was also going to school to become an RN. And we know that RNs make good money. Okay, so she didn't really need him. And he knew it. And neither did she want him. And when a woman changes her phone number and then moves, uproots herself, that's when you know she's really fed up. And then, you know, the guy, let me tell you about something. The cousin of Ramika, of Carlos, he tried to throw Ramika under the bus last night. He was basically saying, oh, you know, Ramika would go to Carlos's house and leave her son outside. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China, sir? Okay, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I'm quite sure when she left him there, she'd already called Carlos and told him that she was dropping the son off. Why did she leave the son outside? Well, because she didn't want to see Carlos. Okay, she had a whole restraining order against him at some point. I do believe it was possibly in July. Don't quote me on that, but at some point they claimed that Carlos talked her into removing the restraining order. But she had one at some point, so maybe that's why she was dropping the son off and just leaving. Okay. But he was saying all this stuff to try to disparage Romika. And then at the end, before they close out the live, he's going to say, oh, I'm not trying to take any sides. I'm not taking any sides. Dude, you literally took your cousin's side the whole time and tried to cape for him and make him look like he's all innocent and like Ramika is the bad guy in the scenario, even though she's the one dead. And let me tell you all something else, another tidbit that I have found out. So remember when I told you guys that the reason they had taken Holly's child or told her she couldn't be around her child is because she hid that gun, okay, in the wheelbarrow of the car under the floorboards, allegedly, and it had a live round in it. But guess what else? She fired that gun 4 times, and the 4th round hit the car where her darn baby was. So how stupid is she? How ignorant is she? Okay, and my thing is, if you know your 6-month-old son was in the car and you're supposedly afraid of this girl and have a restraining order or whatever, why don't you just stay your ass in the car? People are saying she could have gotten back in the car. Yeah, she could have, but she also could have never gotten out of it. She also could have never gotten out of it. Okay. And then here's the thing too. They were saying that Romika and Carlos were arguing. They were the ones into it. Because when Romika made that U-turn supposedly to get on the expressway, that's when she ran into Carlos. And then him and her were arguing or whatever. And then Holly took it upon herself to get out and get into it. Didn't have anything to do with her. But I think Holly may have gotten out because maybe she had spent the night at Carlos's house the night before, supposedly. So maybe she thought that Carlos was meeting up with Romika. I don't know what she thought, but either way, she's an idiot. And she got out of that car and all of this transpired. And she could have injured her own child. Now, I find it interesting that they tried to say that fake witness that Naja Hall had tried to say that Romika was running towards the window, trying to get to Holly's window. Get to the window for what? Okay, make it make sense. As if she's trying to endanger the child. Holly endangered her own darn child, firing a gun numerous times. And here's the thing. I think that her intentions, Holly's that is, I think her intentions were to empty the clip on Romika. I think she was going to shoot until that gun was empty, but she couldn't because the gun jammed. Because that's another thing I found out. I found out that the gun jammed, and that's why there was a live round in there, so they say. But yeah, the gun jammed, and otherwise she would have kept shooting. And then another thing that Carlos's stupid cousin kept saying, he's acting like he was there. He said that the first shot hit Romika in the leg. And then Romika's aunt or whoever was on there, I think it was her aunt, she said, no, the first shot hit her in the chin. And then he said, no, it hit her in the leg. And she was like, no, it was the face. It was the chin. And then she said, how do you know where it was? And he's like, it's common sense. How the hell is that common sense? If someone tells us that someone got killed and they were shot 3 times, once in the chin, once in the side, once in the leg, how the hell is it going to be common sense to any of us that the person was shot in the leg first? Make that make sense. He said it's common sense. You know, maybe Carlos told him that. But what he claims Carlos didn't tell him is that he gave the police a statement. And then once Big Keys called Carlos a snitch, this fool says that, oh, he's not my cousin, ain't no street dude. He ain't no street dude, as if he doesn't know anything about snitching. He is a street dude. He's a whole criminal. We saw his rap sheet, about 6 arrests, right? At least. And I'm being generous here. And he's talking about he's not a street dude. Sir, if you've been arrested that many times, you absolutely are a street dude, whether you want to claim it or not. Okay? Melanie Queen K said he was there, and they set it all up, and Quadre saying he got footage before the footage we have. Right. That's what I want to. Where is he? You know, I don't believe Quadri has the footage. Now, he did say that he would sell it to Keys, but Keys has to pay him like $1,000. I don't think he has any footage. He lies so much. And if he does have some, now I really have questions. But here's the thing. I want you all to peep game. Because here's how you know that this was absolutely 100% premeditated. Now, this is my opinion. I shouldn't say 100%. Let me just roll it back and say, in my opinion, I think it was premeditated, but here's why. Because first of all, this dude, Quadri Sanford, had not been on Facebook, okay, for a minute. His page was deactivated. Remember, I told you all this. Because we have to go back over some of the already shown receipts, because sometimes we forget as new information continues to come out, we start forgetting some of the things that we already found. So I have forgotten all about this. Don't you all remember when I first showed you Quadri Sanford's page on Facebook? I pointed out to you that he actually had deactivated his page. He was using a whole nother Facebook page and posting about the football or whatever. And then on September the 7th, Ramika was killed on the 8th, by the way. I pointed this out to you, that on September the 7th, the day before Ramika's death, that's when he reactivated his Facebook page. And then he starts posting, days after Ramika's death, he starts posting stuff about Ramika being the aggressor. Y'all don't find that interesting? And the least bit suspicious, as Dr. Umar would say, y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find that suspicious? Activate your page September the 7th. Ramika's dead September the 8th. And now he starts posting all this stuff on his page. Now, I'm sorry, but that seems very convenient to me. Could be a coinky dink, but I don't think so. Okay, I don't even believe in coincidences. I think he knew exactly what he was doing, and it was all planned out. I absolutely believe it. And then that's another thing. When they told the cousin of Carlos that basically Carlos was fist pumping Holly at the scene, saying, yeah, it was self-defense or whatever. The cousin's like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Who's going to be doing all that? Who's going to be doing it? Your cousin's going to be doing it. That too. Boom. Who's going to be doing all that? So anyway, here's the thing. Big Key seems to think that Holly's going to get off because Carlos is a witness, and the other two witnesses, we don't know if the police are even going to be able to subpoena them, but they have all of Carlos's information. They have all of his information, so they're definitely going to subpoena him if and when this goes before a grand jury, which they're saying that it's supposed to go before a grand jury sometime this week. Okay, we only got today and tomorrow, so I don't know. But the bottom line is Carlos is likely going to get up there. If it does go to trial, he's going to get up there and testify on Holly's behalf. That's what he's going to do 9 times out of 10. Okay? But let's also not forget, beloveds, that I told you all as well, this is motive, that Carlos allegedly had court October the 8th with Ramika for DV. Okay? And then she dies exactly 1 month prior to the court date. Okay? I find it all interesting. So OG Patrice says, queue up on Key's platform, going harder for Los than he is trying to get his kids in his life. I swear these narcissistic men are psychologically gay. They cape more for other men than they do their women. He doesn't have a woman, honey, in my opinion. I don't think he even has. I don't even think he has a woman with his lame self. So anyway, with that all being said, I'm about to be out of here. Listen, I'm going to come back later because we have to talk about Trump. Where is you all's president? Where is you all's president? Trump has caused his government shutdown. Now he's trying to lie on the Democrats, blame it all on them. And now he's in hiding, okay, according to reports, at least according to Governor Gavin Newsom. But before I roll out, let me just tell you all this. I want you all to pay attention because Candace Owens is about to be blackballed. Okay? Candace Owens is about to be blackballed. And y'all need to be paying attention. I know none of us like Candace, but at the end of the day, she needs to be careful because these people are coming for her. And let me just tell you all the latest, because now that she's been saying all this stuff, her and Tucker Carlson supposedly, they've come to Megyn Kelly and told her, critics are telling her she needs to separate from Candace and Tucker Carlson. Megyn Kelly roasted by left and right over refusal to criticize Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Y'all hear this? So Megyn Kelly raised eyebrows across the political spectrum on Tuesday with her explanation for why she will not confront the wild conspiracies emanating from Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, which many critics have accused them both of being anti-Semitic and exploitive of the murder of Charlie Kirk. Now, here's why I find that interesting. Now, I don't like Tucker Carlson or Candace, if we're just being honest. And maybe they are exploiting the death of Charlie Kirk, or maybe they're just some friends of his who want to get to the bottom of it. But I tell you who is exploiting the death of Charlie Kirk. That would be the right. That would be y'all's president, Donald J. Trump. That would be everybody in Donald Trump's camp. And even Charlie's own wife, Erica Kirk. Okay, out here campaigning, all right, fundraising. I mean, just doing the most. And like I said, that funeral was more like a Kirk Klux Klan rally. That's what that was. That was a Kirk Klux Klan rally, not a funeral, in my opinion. Okay. So anyway, but they've told Megyn she needs to sit down somewhere. And so basically they go on to say, a social media user replied to Kelly on X and wrote, "If you can't separate yourself from Candace Owens, many of us are going to separate ourselves from you. We do not is written in all caps. We do not have to align with everyone that claims to be of the right when their motives and history are as shady as hers." Now she's shady, but these are the same people that used to love Candace, honey. I am loving every bit of this. You see, this is what I call getting your ninja wake-up call. And didn't I tell you all that Candace would be getting hers? Didn't I tell you she'd be getting hers? Mel said Candace is really speaking the truth. Oh, I believe that she is. In this case, she just likely is. But too bad and so sad because they don't care. And they don't want the truth revealed as per usual. You see, the interesting thing is now Candace wants to come out and say things that may be truthful. When she told all those lies on people who look like her. So I don't give a damn about Candace. And I'm glad they're coming for her. And I hope she is blackballed. And honey, this is the best ninja wake-up call that I've ever heard. Okay, this is the best one I've ever heard because she's getting exactly what she deserves. All right, and Tucker Carlson, what I'll say about that is this. I love it when the snakes all go against each other, when they all turn on each other. This is what they do. And I want you all to pay attention because when the snakes usually turn on each other, I'm so glad you asked. It's when black people stay the hell out of it. Yeah, think about that. Now, Candace is black looking. But she's not really one of us on the inside. But you ought to pay attention because that's how that goes. You see, when we don't get involved in their shenanigans, when we don't let them, lure us into the trap, like, oh, black people, y'all need to come protest, oh, black people, and all of this, when we separate ourselves from it, then they turn on each other. That's how it's always been. They like to use us as their punching bag, but when we're not down for it and we don't want anything to do with the shenanigans, and we're like, nope, we're not going to be involved, count us out, then they have to turn on each other because they have nobody else to bicker with. And they have to bicker because that's what hateful, racist devils do. And that's what is on the right more so. Okay? And I'm not saying everybody on the right, but there's plenty of them on the right. There's some on the left too, but most of them, I believe, are on the right. Okay? So yeah, I'm looking for this to get real good. I mean, they're even talking about civil war and all this stuff. I mean, just pay attention. They're all turning on each other. But let's continue because they have more to say about Little Miss Megyn Kelly, whom I also can't stand with her strong face and strong, manly looking jawline. Okay? But she doesn't like trans people. But she looks like one though. Please pay attention. With that all being said, goes on to say they said that Candace is shady. But here's what Kelly said. She responded to that account saying, look at this. No, I have no obligation to separate myself from anyone. I run my own media company and my own show. That show is where I express my own opinions and I will decide what and what not to opine on, she added. Now, if you need me to condemn Candace or Tucker for their opinions in order to listen to me, then I may not be for you. He's a close friend, and she's under enough pressure without gratuitous shots from me. My fight is with the left, not these two. Ah, you heard that right? She said her fight is with the left. Okay? Her fight is with the left. I bet it is. Now, Kelly, a former Fox News host turned successful podcaster, had previously made a similar argument last week for why she did not care about the bombshell allegations against border czar Tom Homan, that he accepted $50,000 in cash from undercover FBI agents as a bribe for securing government contracts. Now, despite the dispatches, Jonah Goldberg replied to Kelly, writing, "So you will condemn anti-Semites on the left, but not because they're anti-Semites, but because they're on the left?" That's what someone asked her. But you won't condemn anti-Semites who are on the right or your friends because they're not. Okay, at least that's a position, I guess. So, with that all being said, honey, they're going in on her. They're going in on her. Another podcaster, Konstantin Kisin, replied to Kelly saying, "The problem with this approach, which many on the right are taking, is that this is exactly how the left allowed its own extremists to first flourish and then to become the face of the entire movement." And then they added, he said, "If you agree with Candace and Tucker, people will respect that. But to many of us, their behavior is so extreme and so deranged that the idea that it can be simply ignored because your fight is with the left doesn't wash. You have always been a great, principled, truth-seeking journalist. So to many of your admirers like me, the question might be, if you agree with them, fine. But if you don't, why isn't your fight with them?" Kelly replied to Kissinger saying, "There are more, the more one insists that I say what one demands me to, the more committed I get in my refusal." Honey, they are going in. Do y'all hear it? Like I said, I love it all. Somebody says, this is a person named Joel Berry. He says, "Loyalty to friends above all else is an admirable trait, It makes you a good friend. I'm not sure that's a luxury afforded to trustworthy journalists, though." Okay, so like I said, they're going in on her hard in the paints. Mel said Candace lost the support of Black people. She was horrible during the election. Honey, what Black people were supporting her besides somebody like Herschel Walker or Tim Scott or Ben Carson? Real Black people were never supporting her. We have better sense. We have better sense at the end of the day. Black people have not been supporting Candace Honey for years. Candace is a whole raccoon, and we all know that. That's why we call her Coon Dissonance. In case you missed it. Now, with that all being said, listen, I got to show you all this video. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Now, this guy did a video. Someone sent it to me this morning. Okay, and I'm going to share this because he made a really good point. Let's get into it. And then I'm out of here. Let me ask you all something, though, before I go. Has anybody once in the chat, has anybody watched that documentary about Hurricane Katrina, the new one that just came out this year by Spike Lee? Has anyone seen that? OG Patrice said, "Don't forget Officer Tatum." Yeah, exactly. Has anyone seen that documentary about Hurricane Katrina? It's called Come Hell or High Water. It literally just came out. It's on Netflix. Have you all seen it? Once, if you have seen it. None of you have seen that? Oh my goodness, it was so good. Y'all, we need to talk about that because I'm going to tell y'all something. Remember all this little shady stuff I told you all Trump's doing and how I told you all that he's taking, different plays from different people and whatnot? We were talking about this yesterday. Well, yeah, I saw some of that stuff in that documentary that Trump's absolutely up to. And I have even more stuff that I think Trump's up to. I told you I have to talk about that on Rumble. But now, so here's the question. Do you all want me to do a review on that documentary when I come back this evening? Yes or no? Put a 3 in the chat so I don't get confused with the 1s and the 2s. If you want me to do a review on that documentary when I come back this evening, we're still going to talk about Trump. Put a 3 in the chat, or you can just put yes. Put a 3 in the chat or the word yes. If y'all want me to come back and talk about that, honey, because when I tell you I was up late last night watching it, it was really good. Oh, these people are worse than I thought. See, I was around when Hurricane Katrina happened. I remember the people that came here to Atlanta from New Orleans. Okay. I, in fact, housed a couple of those people. But the bottom line is when I saw, like, it was some stuff that I'm like, wait a minute, this was going on too? Honey, they did black people dirty. Okay, they did black people dirty. And that's why when I be telling you guys that you better not be sitting up here thinking that whatever's going on with immigrants or any other group of people in this country, that it can't happen to you next. It's always happened to us. So why would you think that it wouldn't? Okay, so by the number of threes in the chat, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about that this evening because, honey, when I tell you it's all so sad and low down. Okay, and my favorite thing from that era will always be the day that Kanye West got up there and said, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Okay? Pensilola, thank you for being a member for 10 months, beloved. I appreciate you. That's right. Mad Dog Jack said we have no friends. Okay, so listen. I love you all to life. Okay, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I will see you all later. Swift said they were hunting. You know they were. Okay, Claudette said, did he lie? Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have a scoop on Al Sharpton. You all, I got some dirt on Al Sharpton. I have some dirt on Al Sharpton. I'm going to leave y'all with a cliffhanger. Y'all have to find out later. Y'all gonna have to tune in this evening, honey. But Al Sharpton, let me tell y'all something. We need to cancel him. I'm about to start a whole campaign. I'm about to start a whole entire campaign to cancel Al Sharpton. He's not doing anything beneficial for us anyway. Al Sharpton needs to go down. We need to have him blackballed from our community. Okay? Wait, after this information I have on him, honey, if I knew this years ago, Al Sharpton would have been, let me tell you something, he would have been getting all the smoke. Okay, but I'm about to expose him. I'm about to expose him, beloveds, when we come back. So anyway, that all been said, that crazy be shared said, too late, queen. All right. So anyway, listen, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. Pensilola says, love you, queen and royals. Thank you, beloved, and I love you right black. And thank you for your kind words and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, Sharon said, I canceled him years ago. All right. So anyway, beloveds, I will see you all later. Okay, always be sure to do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, above all else, keep the Most High first in your lives. And I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me?